Are we going to float around in heaven on the cloud, playing the harp forever? Now, eternity sounds like a pretty long time. Are we going to be bored? Well, definitely not. I'm going to share with you 10 surprising facts about heaven that will make you absolutely not want to miss out. Hi friends, if you're new to the channel, my name is Melvin and I'm actually always making these kind of videos with you in mind, so I hope that you will enjoy it. The first one will already surprise you big time. Number 1, heaven will be empty. Well, that sounds pretty boring, doesn't it? But it's true. Check this out. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. When Jesus comes, he empties heaven. I'm not really sure about Enoch, Moses, and Elijah, who are the human exceptions and are already living in heaven today, but all the angels will join Jesus for his second coming. They're all so excited to meet us that they don't want to miss out and stay in heaven. It's pretty funny that we here on earth, we all want to go to heaven, but everyone in heaven wants to come down to earth. It will be amazing to join them in the clouds and then be on our way up to heaven and refill that place. Number 2. Jesus will serve us at the feast. Blessed are those who are called to the marriage supper of the Lamb. Now the Bible talks about this feast that seems to happen pretty much immediately when we get to heaven. How awesome isn't that? We get to heaven, big party, and Jesus is the host. And then it's interesting to think of one of his parables where he said, "Blessed are those servants whom the master, when he comes, will find watching. Assuredly, I say to you that he will gird himself and have them sit down to eat, and he will come and serve them." The very last thing that Jesus did on earth before he went to the cross was taking the role of a servant by washing his disciples' feet. And it seems like the very first thing he will do when we get to heaven is to serve us again. And this word for serve is actually used in other places where it talks about serving food, so waiting on tables. So it definitely seems like Jesus is going to serve us food at this massive feast. It's good that we'll live for eternity, because if Jesus is going to serve food for the millions of people that are at the table, it might take a while and all the food will be cold and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I think he'll have a special way that it won't be like that. Number 3, we'll live in a golden city. The 12 gates were 12 pearls. Each individual gate was of 1 pearl. Those must be some pretty big pearls. And the streets of the city was pure gold, like transparent glass. This is talking about our new home city, the New Jerusalem. Just imagine where now you might be walking on streets of stone or asphalt or dirt. One day it will be transparent gold. I haven't even seen transparent gold. I think none of us might want to dare to step on it or something. But actually this city won't stay in heaven. Now here's a plot twist for you. Number 4, Jesus will restore all things. And he shall send Jesus Christ, which before was preached unto you, whom the heaven must receive until the time of restitution of all things, which God has spoken by the mouth of all his holy prophets since the world began. Now, you might be as I was the first time. What in the world does restitution mean? Well, it means the act of returning what has wrongfully been taken or replacing what has been lost or damaged, and the divine restoration of all things to their original order. In other words, Jesus will give us back what we have lost. Jesus said in his Sermon on the Mount, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." He will give us back the earth that we had lost as humanity to the devil and sin. The thing is, in our last 2 videos in the series, we've talked about the different events that will happen before Jesus comes back, and at that time, earth will be completely ruined. So it kind of feels like a major step down to go from heaven to a demolished earth. It's like, thanks God. But of course, it's not going to go like that. God doesn't do downgrades. The Bible says, "Now I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband." God will recreate the entire earth. He will prove that he doesn't need a Big Bang theory or billions of years. we will see him just speak the words as he did before, and it will stand as he commanded it. And he will restore the Garden of Eden as he gave it the first time, but better. And friends, do you know what that means, the Garden of Eden? The word for garden means to surround, and the word Eden means pleasure. So God created this place where we would be surrounded with pleasure. That is his will for our lives. Did you know that the first 3 chapters of the Bible talk about how God created that the first time, and the last 3 chapters of the Bible describe God recreating it? And everything in between is basically a roadmap of how we can become part of this new world. Yeah. Number 5, we're gonna work. Now, probably you must be thinking that I'm messing with you right now, right? This one shouldn't be on the list, but it's not the work that you are used to. The Bible says, they shall build houses and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and eat their fruit, and my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. Oh, it's gonna feel so good to be productive and fruitful and to create and develop and without all that stress or pressure or that annoying supervisor you might have. You know, I've been dreaming about building my own house, but since I have 2 left hands and no money, it hasn't happened. But one day, I'll probably be lost of everyone, but I'm gonna have built my own house. I promise you that. And you are welcome to visit me. And then you can just chill out in the living room while I make you a smoothie in my open kitchen with my kitchen table or kitchen island and with the fruits from my own garden. I wonder actually if we can only build on the new Earth, or if we can also have like a summer house somewhere in another galaxy. I guess one day we'll find out. Number 6, it's gonna feel like home. Have you ever been away for some time and when you get home you feel like, finally, home sweet home? Well, the more that you love God and the more you dislike sin, the more you start feeling that you don't really belong here. It feels like this earth, like this is not your home. When the Bible talks about God's people in the Old Testament, the Bible says they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For those who say such things declare plainly that they seek a homeland. We are seeking for a place without sin. And even without maybe fully realizing it ourselves, we are longing for heaven, for the new earth. You know why? The Bible says for our citizenship is in heaven. That is where we belong. And when we get there and sin is gone, it feels like, finally, we're home. Number 7, we get glorified bodies. And many people might think that we'll be floating around in heaven like spirits, but nope, we'll have bodies. And not just any body. The Bible says who will transform our lowly body that it may be conformed to his glorious body. We will get bodies like Jesus' body after Jesus had resurrected, which is described in this way. Behold my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see. For a spirit does not have flesh and bones, as you see I have. So we won't be spirits, we'll have bodies just like we have now. But then the new and improved version, which brings us to number 8. There is no suffering. Man, this is so awesome. And here's just some examples of what that will actually look like. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened. We get brand new eyeballs. Perfect 20/20 vision. We'll see colors brighter, more vibrant than we can see now. Everything will be sharper, and we like that, right? Going from Full HD to 4K, 8K, and everyone who's watching with glasses, you won't need them anymore. Contacts, you can throw those away. No more messing around with liquids and cleaning them and forgetting where you put them down last. You'll be able to see everything as beautiful as it is. And the verse continues, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. The first thing the deaf will hear is the melodious voice of Jesus himself. And all throughout eternity, they'll be able to hear the sweet songs of the birds and the angels. And if you have hearing aids and you don't need those anymore, no more fiddling with that little machine behind your ear, you'll be able to hear everything loud and clear. And it continues, then the lame shall leap like a deer. No canes, no wheelchairs in heaven. You will run and jump through the open fields and won't get tired. Every muscle will execute the order from the brain, fired through the synaptic and nerve system. Perfect control. And it continues, and the tongue of the dumb sing. Those who have gone through life in silence will be able to sing of the goodness of God. And even those who now can't carry a tune in a bucket like myself, we will be able to join the harmonies in heaven. And here's the final one. And the inhabitant will not say, I am sick. No more cancer, no more Parkinson's, no more COVID, no more eczema, no more autism or schizophrenia, no more common colds even, no hay fever, no allergies, nothing of that. You know, diseases and disorders have taken the lives of so many people in our world. But no more, friends. Sickness too will be completely eradicated, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. That's the world that we want, right? Number 9, we won't miss our old life. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former things shall not be remembered or come to mind. Now, this doesn't mean that God will wipe our memory clean, but more that our lives on the new earth are going to be so fulfilling, so interesting, so life-giving that not for a second, for all eternity, will we feel that we're missing something here from planet Earth. And even all the bad choices and the sins that we've committed in this life, they're things of the past. We won't feel any more guilt or worry or shame. We'll experience the freedom of God's forgiveness and grace. Number 10, we can recognize each other. And I say to you that many will come from east and west and sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. Now, if Jesus says that we'll be able to sit down with these heroes of the faith, then surely it is because we know who they are, right? And also, after Jesus resurrected, they were able to recognize Jesus, and Jesus was able to recognize the others. And the same goes with Elijah and Moses. When they appeared with Jesus, then the disciples were able to recognize them too. Now, the Bible doesn't say that much about the whole social relational system on the new earth and what it will look like. In another video where we have more Bible facts, we actually talk about this a bit more, but at least we know that we'll have still our own identities and are able to recognize each other. And just like how I ended that other video I just referred to with more Bible facts, I want to end this one in the same way because it's just so awesome. We can't say it enough. If you already got excited to this point with everything that we've shared, watch this. The Bible says, "Eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for those who love him." Friends, God only wants the very best for you. He gave you his son, his very best, so you can live. And he's giving us this hope for a future we can literally not even begin to comprehend how amazing it will be. How do we respond to such love? In the next video of this series, we are going to talk about baptism and living a godly life. Now make sure to share this video, get other people excited, and I'll see you in the next one.